So what's going on, guys? My name is MrDalekJD, and Modern Warfare 2 Remastered is a fantastic 3.5-hour campaign full of blockbuster moments and some of the best missions in Call of Duty. But sprinkled throughout the campaign is many Easter eggs. Some obvious and some very subtle. And within this video, I'm going to be showing you every single Easter egg. And I assure you there's going to be some Easter eggs which you didn't notice during your playthrough. So I'd really appreciate if you guys would watch this entire video through, as I guarantee you by the end of it, you're going to learn something that you didn't know before. And if you do learn something new, I want you to let me know by dropping a like on the video and let me know in the comments down below. If you found anything that I've missed in this video, then please let me know down below. And to stay up to date for more Easter eggs, then be sure to subscribe. And to kick things off, we're starting with a hilarious Easter egg, which is in the very first mission, Team Player. And this is an Easter egg which actually existed in the original game. And this is a soldier sat there munching away on a bar of chocolate. In this remaster, it is Corporal Haggerty just sat there munching away. This man does not have a single care in the world, and nothing is going to stop him from munching on that bar. The next Easter egg is going to be on the mission of their own accord. And when you first start in one of the rooms, you're going to see a little teddy bear Easter egg under one of these makeshift beds. Always a welcome sight in a Modern Warfare game. But if we make our way into the first bunker, numbered Bunker 1, and behind these cardboard boxes, we're going to find another teddy bear holding a golden desert eagle. Now, what makes this Easter egg so cool is the fact that we did not see a golden desert eagle in the original Modern Warfare 2. So that is something brand new that the remaster brings. And also the fact that it has a total of 7 bullets within the chamber, which you could consider 007. And then looking at the golden desert eagle, this is quite clearly a reference to GoldenEye, the James Bond movie, which was also one of the greatest video games ever made on the Nintendo 64. A very cool Easter egg, if you ask me. Now, the next one is a secret melee execution, which you cannot get anywhere else apart from on the mission cliffhanger. So if you walk up to these two enemies, rather than taking them out from a distance and holding your melee button, you're going to initiate a brutal assassination using those ice picks. Absolutely brutal. Now, this next Easter egg is a classic that was in the original Modern Warfare 2, which didn't really ever make sense, and it's weirdly amusing to see it return. But if you make your way upstairs on loose ends and breach into this door and go into the bathroom, you're gonna see a blow-up doll chilling in the bathtub. Now, this looks frighteningly crystal clear compared to the original game, and I'm surprised they kept this in, but it's good to see a familiar Easter egg return. Now, sticking with loose ends, we're gonna make our way downstairs and look directly at the computer where you start the transfer, and this is one of the craziest Easter eggs to me. Now, I doubt that this was intentional back in 2009, but this existed back then and it's here again. But this newspaper clipping references an attack on Piccadilly Circus, which obviously is an event which happens in Modern Warfare 2019, the reboot. But this mentions an attack on Piccadilly Circus followed by Vladimir Makarov's 23rd taped broadcast. Perhaps Infinity Ward got some sort of inspiration from this little newspaper cutting to add that as a mission into Modern Warfare 2019, but it cannot be understated how incredible of a coincidence it is to have that link up and make sense 10 years later in a brand new universe. It really makes you question if the universes really are different or if they are in fact the same. Some real philosophical thinking there. But continuing on the walls here, we have a load of CCTV photographs put onto the wall from the No Russian mission, which shows what the CCTV camera saw during that incredibly dark mission. Now, what is very interesting that I wanted to point out as an Easter egg is in the Modern Warfare 2 original from 2009, these photographs contain photographs from an undeveloped version of No Russian, where all the civilians instead are T-posed animated models, where they're all stood there with their arms out, like as if they're in a default pose, which is something that the developers would use probably for testing purposes. And so they got the screenshots for these during a testing version of No Russian rather than the actual version. But this has been rectified in the remaster, where of course we don't see that anymore. We see normal posed people, which obviously feels a little bit more immersive. Our next Easter egg is going to take us to the Hornet's nest for a very unusual Easter egg. So this is pretty much at the start of the mission. Once you've cleared out all of the enemies, you're going to take a right past this blue house and walk through these bushes behind this fence. When you make your way around the corner, you're going to see a teddy bear and a poster. Now, what is really interesting about this Easter egg is the poster is for some sort of Brazilian rock band called Messiah's Atomico, and it looks like a concert poster advertising locations and dates on where the band are going to play. And I'm very confident that this is a poster made by a developer, and the images are actually of the Beanox team that remastered the game, which is really comical. But what's really interesting about this particular Easter egg is that it's changed from the original Modern Warfare 2, and what was here before was a poster for a movie called Porter Justice, which was a completely made-up movie by the Infinity Ward devs, and it was a poster that has the Infinity Ward logo, a number 23, photo of a man with a microphone, and the name Griggs. So I don't know why they changed it, but it's a very interesting thing to see it changed. Now, this wouldn't be an Easter eggs video without talking about No Russian, because this has arguably some of the coolest Easter eggs in the entirety of the game, if not the whole Modern Warfare trilogy. And we have to start off with that Uri Appearance Easter egg. If you don't already know by now, yes, Uri is in No Russian. And once you and Makarov are making your way up the escalators past the bookstores, if you make your way back to the start of the level, you're gonna see Uri appear, run through the metal barriers, and then collapse, which is exactly what he did in the Modern Warfare 3 flashback mission, which I think is just absolutely incredible. And continuing on, if you make your way into the duty-free shop, on the counter, you're gonna see two boxes for Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, and this contains original box art that never made it, of course, onto the final box. And this looks like it has Captain Price on the front in this pixelated form. Now, this was an Easter egg in the original game. It's so cool to see it return here. Sadly, not quite as remastered as we expected. An Easter egg that I'm very happy that they brought back. Now, a really small detail is when you get out of the elevator at the start of the level, if you turn to your left, there's going to be a vending machine, and if you hold your interact button by these two buttons, you're actually going to dispense cans of drink, and you can infinitely press this and have like dozens of cans coming out of the machine. There is literally no use to this, but this is such a weird detail, I had to point it out. Now, a pretty obvious Easter egg is once you complete the campaign, you unlock the museum, which has multiple parts from each mission where you can sort of look at it in a museum showcase. But in 2 of the 3 rooms, there are these red buttons which say do not press the red button when you press it, and it's going to make every single person in the room attack you. And once you've taken them all out in both rooms, you're going to unlock a secret trophy called do not press the red button. Pretty obvious Easter egg for those that have obviously played the original, but if you haven't, this is a very fun little challenge and a fun, cool Easter egg. Now, on the topic of weirdness, we're going to jump over to the start of Wolverines, and on this balcony here, you're going to notice a very weird tea party with a clown and an alien doll from Extinction from Call of Duty Ghosts, which I find to be the most incredible crossover I've ever seen. Personally, I was a massive fan of Extinction, and this is the exact same alien doll that you can unlock as an Easter egg where all the cryptid aliens you shoot explode into these aliens. It's absolutely crazy. Don't understand why they're there, but such a cool Easter egg in my opinion. Continuing on with Wolverines, when you make your way through the smoke and then down the alleyway, in the original Modern Warfare 2, there was an Infinity Ward logo graffitied right here next to this dumpster. But it's not here anymore in the original. Instead, you have writing on the wall next to it that says no. I don't get it either, but I had to point that out because that is one of the most iconic bits of graffiti replaced with a no. Now, just further on from this level, you have the gas station, and what would be complete with a gas station that sells tons of stuff from mugs, instant noodles, and fruit. And one particular fruit are watermelons. Now, these are, of course, a reference to the first level of Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, where you have to knife the watermelon. And the watermelons are the only fruits that you can interact with and actually stab in this gas station, which is a very cool reference. And if you're looking for intels, there is an intel in this gas station as well on the counter. This is a very obvious Easter egg, but Burger Town is here, and it's a direct reference to Burger King. It's crazy how big Burger Town has become within the Call of Duty franchise, but you've got that menu lovingly remastered, including poutine, which may suggest that Burger Town is actually connected Canadian. Crazy, right? And then we have some awesome Easter eggs, which are achievements or trophies within themselves. So you've probably seen these, but these are very cool and still considered Easter eggs nonetheless. One of them being Precognitive Paranoia, where you shoot Shepard during the pit in SSDD and creating a time paradox by getting revenge on him for killing Roach and Ghost. He deserved it. And the Clown in Training Easter egg, which is to pick up a Beret 50 cal sniper from when you first complete the gun tutorial and shooting 3 clowns outside the map in different locations. Each clown explodes with colored powder and you get yourself an achievement or trophy for shooting all 3. I've got a more detailed guide on that Easter egg on my channel if you need it. And we saved the best Easter eggs till last. All the intel cheats you unlock for finding all 45 intels. These cheats are broken down into 3 different categories. We have challenge, fun time, and visual. So starting with all of the challenge intel cheats, we have bombshell, which turns every enemy to have a martyrdom and drop a grenade when they die. So definitely one that's going to make it very tricky. The next is precision, where enemies will only die when shot in the head. So you can shoot any other body part and all they're going to do is just be stunned a little bit, but they will get back up and keep fighting. The next one, green beret, is incredibly cool, where you spawn with nothing but a knife and no reloads are allowed. And as you can see, you're decked out in a ghillie suit, just like in all ghillied up. This is a really fun one, and you even get to inspect anime on that knife, which is absolutely satisfying. The next cheat is fortitude, where enemies are much tougher than normal, so they're gonna basically have double their health. Definitely don't advise turning this one on veteran. The next is desperation, where you have to kill enemies in order to regenerate your health. A really brutal one, again, if you're playing on veteran. This next one is absolutely hilarious, called Poulter Ghost, where every enemy is invisible. So all you're gonna see around the map is floating guns, which is just absolutely spooky to see. And if Harry Potter had a Modern Warfare crossover, I think it'd look a little bit like this. The next one, attraction, makes damage be reduced over distance. So sniping people from a distance is going to take a lot more shots than it previously would have. And the final challenge cheat, starvation, makes your ammo deplete over time and can be stopped by killing enemies. Every second spent in the level, you will lose bullets. And when you have like an SMG, those bullets will go very quick. Moving on to fun time, the first cheat here is pineapple heads, which, as you can assume, puts pineapple heads on every enemy and it looks hilarious. And I love when you shoot their heads, it really pops and sounds just like you're shooting a pineapple. Now the next cheat is think fast, which changes your tactical grenades for footballs. That's right, in your back pocket you have footballs which you can throw at enemies to give them the fright of their lives. This looks ridiculous, but I absolutely love it. The next one is called a bad year, and when you shoot enemies they explode into tires. Fantastic. The next one is cluster bombs, and if you throw a grenade, of course, they're going to act like cluster bombs and just explode infinitely, which is always a lot of fun. The next one is Pommy Grenade, which turns all of your grenades into pomegranates, and when they explode with pink liquid, something I didn't know I needed. The next is Party Time, and when you kill enemies, they're going to explode into confetti, which is always great, a firm favorite. Now, this next one is truly shocking. Danger Close. And this makes every enemy General Shepard, which is absolutely insane to me, especially when I played this mission and I heard Captain Price say, "The enemy of my enemy is my friend." This one could be my favorite cheat of all time. The next one is Slo-Mo ability, where meleeing turns on the slow-mo effect from breaching, which just makes gameplay look incredibly cinematic. Like, it looks like I've professionally slowed down the gameplay, but this is genuinely the game still running at 60 frames a second in slow motion. It's awesome. The next cheat is Ragdoll Impact, which when you kill enemies they go flying, which is always great. And the final fun time cheat is infinite ammo, which is always going to be a lot of fun. To finish the video off, for visual intel cheats we have Cod Noir, which turns the game into a black and white movie, which looks really cool. But the next one is Edge Detect, which honestly is pretty hard to look at, and I do apologize for the video jittering a little bit here. I don't really get why my Elgato started playing up in this particular moment. But this last cheat is my absolute favorite, called Ragtime Warfare, which makes your game essentially look like one of those very old 1930s, 40s movies, complete with that music, and your movement is greatly enhanced to match the music and tempo, and turns really serious moments like this mission into a comedic, funny movie. I couldn't believe how quickly I could complete this mission with this effect on, but I really hope you enjoyed this video and you learned something new. If you did enjoy, let me know in the comment section if there's anything I've missed. Be sure to let me know down below. Drop a like, rating, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you for another video very, very soon.